There you go.
This is actually get reception up here, which is nice.
Oh, wow.
So you're keeping it?
Must
Yeah,
be the
just-
elevation.
It is.
Got to be.
Well, down in the cellar, you get no freaking. It's like basement over there.
It's because we're high. It's
Not yet.
yeah. It's still early.
It's still early.
It's still early. Yeah. Oh man.
All right, just before we start, just because it's a little noisy in here, like if you just talk like directly into you can adjust it. Yeah.
Hello, check 1 2, check 1 2. I'll yell. Don't worry, I'll be loud.
Neither one of us are accustomed to this microphone
No,
magic.
never. I
Talking
don't
to
think you're
magic
used to
thing.
any. I don't change mine though. Mine just stays always the same. Yours has a little different changes to it.
Could be. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yours sounds better.
I beg to differ.
All right. Well, here we are. We're sitting down. Joey Fatone is joining us. You know him from NSYNC, legend,
Stop.
and most recently Common Knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing game shows, a little bit of everything. A jack of all trades, but
It's going to be cool. That's got to be.
it was, you know what? It's grueling at times, but I love it that it's a short stint in the sense of I was shooting about 130 episodes at one point, and we were shooting 6 shows a day, and it was maybe a month and a half, or almost not even 2 months, and I was in and out done. So
No kidding.
it's a crazy burn, but yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was 6 shows we were doing. It hurt after the
yeah,
4th
doing
or 5th.
6 of anything a
Yeah,
day.
it was about an hour to shoot though each episode. So we did that. So it was pretty grueling, pretty interesting. But that was the taste of really knowing what game shows do, because a lot of game shows do that, like Price is Right and all that stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. I did a couple game shows when I was coming up. Before I was in the business, I thought, okay, I'm starving. Game show.
That's a good idea.
And I won like 500 pounds of macaroni.
Nice. Congrats.
So I had
Yep.
that going for me.
Nice.
And so I ate that year. And so it was okay.
Did they call that a lifetime supply?
I think so. I'm sure I still have some.
Probably. Actually, I did the first time I was on a game show. I did Nick Arcade on Nickelodeon. I was literally, it just came out somewhere. Someone just found a picture, but it's on Hulu. It's on Hulu, right? They have episodes of the actual whole Nick Arcade like series back in like, what was it, 90? Yeah, 95. Yeah, 90, even earlier. No, even earlier. Yeah, crazy enough though. I'm just saying. So people are like, oh, this is before you were like famous and did all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I was trying to be on game shows and I was trying to win some prizes. I think I got British Knights sneakers.
Really?
Oh,
You remember those?
That's yes.
You remember those British Knights?
What?
That was a while ago.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm showing how long ago that game show was.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I won was rice and roni or whatever, that mac and cheese. So you win. Oh
Congrats.
man. So are do you how many of these do you do a year? We're at a famous Comic-Con, by the way. We're all really famous here.
Right. Colorado Springs here.
Colorado
Having a great
Springs.
time.
That's-
You know what? It's interesting with the game show stuff because, like I said, thank goodness I've been doing a lot of different things and I'm able to do things like the Comic-Con. Then, next thing you know, I'm doing a thing called Joey Fatone and Friends, which I did that at Epcot for the Food and Wine Festival and their performances. And what I started doing is I actually started coming up with ideas, kind of the old school Rat Pack kind of thing. So I did it in Vegas for about 4 nights. I did a short stint. Did it with Wanye Morris from Boys to Men, Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys, AJ from Backstreet Boys, and it was basically like a Rat Pack where we sang each other's songs, ragged on each
Whoa.
other, called a bunch of stuff and shit.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because that vibe was great. And so then I started doing it, had a proof of concept, started doing stuff. Now I've been doing a lot more, corporate events per se, but also doing stuff at Disney, like I said. But now I'm able to get other celebrities and other people. So say, for instance, somebody calls up and they're like, hey, I'd love to have you, but I want a little bit of rap, I want a little bit of rock, and I want pop. So I go, okay, well, you got me, I'll do some of the boy band stuff. Then you got Scott Stapp that can do his Creed and some of the rock stuff. I also have Dee Schneider that will come out and do Twisted Sister.
Oh, no.
I've had Brett Michaels come out and do so.
That's awesome.
Depending on
No
your
way.
budget and depending on what you got. So it's a mixture of everything.
Wow.
So it's been really cool. So that's really my focus. I've been doing that stuff right now. But the same thing, with game shows, it's like I've been throwing stuff on the wall and see what sticks for me.
Wow.
So it's
It all
really
sounds
nice.
really sticky.
Yeah, it is.
It
is. It comes to a certain situation
best
where
way.
I double book myself or I'm overdoing stuff, which it happens. But
Well, that's good.
it's been a great thing. Yeah, like I said, it's nice that I've been able to do so many different things, and so far it hasn't gotten boring. That's the great thing about it. It hasn't gotten stale. Nothing is.
Yeah.
You're in the studio. So again, you're in the studio hours and hours and hours, and I'm like, okay, I want to break out and do something a little bit different. So I do the Comic-Cons. I sign. I'll sing and dance for the Joey Fatone and Friends. I host a game show, and then Now I got a movie coming out that we can't promote, which sucks ass, and because of the SAG strike.
Because we can't. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you could tell me. I don't
So
care.
Opa, everybody, I don't care. All I can say is Opa. It's coming out. September 8th.
Hey, that's right.
The third one, third installment. You yelled at for that. Oh well. Yeah.
We can edit it out if you want.
Yeah, believe it. I'll be like, Habib. Yeah, but there's a film, and all I can say is Opa.
Yeah. Ik ben Adve, ik grey Eddingway.
Yeah. Yes.
See?
Yes.
Now you're AFSA.
Tres.
Yes. Coming to a theater near you.
Yeah. So yeah, it was that kind of stuff. It's great to be able to be able to do that kind of stuff. So we'll
How
see.
cool is that?
Again, let's see what happens next couple of months and see what sticks. Is what I love doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, ain't it the truth? Well, I think you need a few more irons in the fire.
I think so.
I mean, so you're not keeping busy. Is
no, not at all.
Apparently
Not
he's,
at all. I'm a
couch
lazy
potato,
guy. I'll be back over at Chuck E. Cheese too soon. Playing Chucky.
yeah.
Times are tough. So I do
That's
that.
right.
I do bar mitzvahs and
Oh,
bat
man.
mitzvahs if you need.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying. Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh,
But
that's
I've done a few voices, and I think it's amazing what you do. I know to flip
Oh,
it
thanks.
on you,
Yeah.
but I honestly I do. And again, it's not easy. That is
Yeah.
not easy. People think it's easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It would come natural to you because you've done it. But
Yeah.
Well, Jim has a musical background as well. You want to talk about that?
yes,
yeah,
please
absolutely.
do.
Yeah, I was. You've heard me sing, not as much as everyone's heard him sing, but I was the lead singer for the California Raisins.
Okay.
But
Gotcha. Yeah.
back when I was 5. But yeah, that was it.
I remember
But,
there was the claymation one, if I'm mistaken,
yeah,
the commercial.
mhm,
Yep.
yeah. And I got some platinum. I can't compete with you.
Hey,
but,
but that's amazing though.
But Lion King.
Yep.
I had a song in Lion King, Be Prepared.
Yep.
And
That's right, because you did the voice. Yes, I remember.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, for Jeremy Irons.
Yep.
And Princess and the Frog. I was Ray. Don't make me light my butt.
I know Michael Woolley, who played
yeah.
the alligator.
Oh yes,
I know
absolutely.
Michael. Actually, he was the voice of when I
Yes, he
did Broadway. He was the plant of Seymour.
Yes.
When
yeah.
Audrey, I should say, when I played Seymour.
Me.
Yeah, he played Audrey too. And I
Oh,
was
that's
Seymour
cool.
on Broadway. Michael was doing the voice.
Wow. Oh,
crazy
that's
enough.
wonderful.
Weird circle of
Boy, that's
connection.
that is a tight one. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
have-
did
I
a
haven't
lot of
seen
did
him
a
in
lot of
while.
Broadway stuff, and seeing him it was interesting. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, I know that voice. And
Yeah.
he was,
Yeah. Very distinct.
yeah,
Very,
very.
distinct voice.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. I see. I didn't even know that. To California
Yeah.
Raisins.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning
yeah.
things, people.
Mhm.
I know other things. Tigger poo. I know
That's
I know
right.
everything
Yeah,
else.
well,
But come
we
on now.
never stop learning if we're lucky.
Right.
Knock
Exactly.
on- Yeah.
Hey, we keep having a job and keep people listening to us. So hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
keep doing it. So that's what I love. I mean, that's what I love about this job, about work, though.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's not work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
That's the best kind of work.
When it's not
work. Yeah. Well, I always like for my kids, my nieces, my nephews, I always told them, make a list of stuff that you would do you love doing so much, you would do it all day long for free. Then do it so well, you can find some Yahoo to pay you. And that's the closest I
Yeah.
can think of to career peace and
100%,
happiness.
yeah.
And, you know,
100%. No,
But-
I agree.
but nobody wants to pay me to sit around and eat popcorn and watch TV. It's-
Nope. Unless we could do
Damn
Siskel
it.
and Ebert, we can do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you could
Ebersisk.
actually see what you're talking about. We could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
critics, and then you make money off it. See?
Yeah. Making fun of other people.
Exactly.
I do it for free now.
I do it too as well for free. Sometimes without a mic, which is usually better that way.
Yes, it is. Less evidence.
True.
That's right.
Nobody
Oh,
knows.
Man, too good, too good. So, how much animation do you have? You dabbled in?
Yeah. As far as doing voices, yeah, I have.
Mm-hmm.
I've done. Oh my gosh, Harvey Street Kids. It was called. It was on Netflix. I did
Mm-hmm.
a voice. I did Higglytown Heroes at one point for Disney. If you remember
yeah.
JoJo Circus, I was on JoJo Circus. I did a voice as well on that. So yeah, I dabbled.
That's
a little bit.
cool.
Yeah, Boy Band on the Run was another one that was a Shorty McShorts. It was called on Disney as well. For some reason, it was always on Disney. But I did a couple other. What's the other one? Sunny something of whatever. It's on Nickelodeon. There's these puppies, these dogs. So I played one of the people doing the commercial. I was selling the dog biscuits.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
So I've done a lot of different voices. Yeah, and it was all. It's cool because it wasn't myself, which is great.
Yeah.
The only one I can say I played myself which was cool, was The Simpsons. We got a chance to be on The Simpsons as NSYNC.
Wow.
So, you made it when you've been on The Simpsons.
You've made it when
people, when they make fun of you that much or they want you that bad to do it, you're like,
and,
that's awesome.
And you're playing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not bad.
No, it's really cool to see yourself as a Simpson person, I would say.
Yeah, a Simpsonologist.
Simpsonized.
And you did The Simpsons too, right?
I did a Simpson. I was the Wonder Horse.
Okay.
Thank you.
But
Check,
again,
please.
I was about to say, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That you get that, I think who's another one that does a lot of animal voices though? Alan.
Well, Frank
Right?
Welker. Frank Welker's the king.
Yeah, Frank Welker's yes, but Alan Tudyk does a few of them now though, like the rooster. He's done every robot animal. It's always interesting though how somebody gets labeled that way.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How does one?
Yeah.
How do you get labeled like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone goes, okay, you're good with
Frank
voice
was
animals.
Cujo. He was Cujo. He was King Kong, or I think it was
The original
Lady
Cujo?
Kong.
like the original Cujo.
Yeah, the one from like 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, so.
It always blows me away. Like, why don't you just record a dog?
Yeah.
It's
Might not get the exact reaction that you want, or maybe the certain sound that they're looking for.
Yeah.
That's like what when they Jurassic Park, when the dinosaur, they added so many different layers
Yes.
to make just that one roar.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
many different things. And it's crazy when you see those layers, you're like, oh, that's how you got that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's truly
Yeah.
amazing that when that
One
happens.
of my favorite things was Star Wars, the guns, pew, pew,
Pew, pew,
pew,
pew.
was somebody going out to the country and going up to one of those old time telephone poles with the really tight cable
And
and
just
whacking the cable and recording it. And that was
that was
the,
it.
That was the what were those not TIE fighters, but
The
rifles.
guns. Yeah.
yeah, the
Well,
rifles.
same thing that was shown. Yeah, I think they were showing a bunch of them where they're like walking around stuff, and then you hear like it's the tanks, but it's literally just a small little tire.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Amazing though.
Yeah.
Or you guys, I start to think of how many audio archives they must have as far as ILM. Like industrial ILM. I think about how many audio archive things of any sound effect that they must have or need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always think about stuff. I'm just saying to think about.
Right.
Okay, I need some. How hard would it for them to pick the one, whatever it may be,
Right.
two glasses clinking.
Yeah.
We need that specific sound.
Yeah, that exact
But how many
one,
times
yeah.
people have recorded that some crazy stuff?
Yeah, no
That's a whole
kidding.
nother Foley thing. Foley stuff
Yeah.
is crazy.
It
You know,
really is.
I had a weird job years ago that it was Winnie the Pooh, and it was a big long drawn out thing where he was reading bedtime stories, and then I had to pause. Well, it's time to go to bed. Chautauqua.
Right.
Or and man, oh man. So we did the stories, leaving a gap for the insert
Right,
of the
for the
name, and they go okay, and they didn't even print it out. It was so many. They had like, I said, we started doing them.
How?
and we never we start with Aaron,
Right.
then Aardvark, and then Arlanda, and after a while they wanted me to do 3 in a row. And I can't do
It's too
3
many.
in a row. No,
Yeah.
it's too many. It was thousands and I think it was
Thousands.
55,000.
Holy cow.
And some of the names are
Difficult and just in general.
yeah. My favorite, Porn Tip. Porn Tip is a name. It's
like
a real name. And there's another one
Please,
that
because I have
can't-
many of those names.
Yeah,
Not
and
me
I
personally. I'm just saying.
yeah. But that was your old stage
Yes,
name.
it was. Yeah. Adolf Oliver Bush.
Oh man.
Sorry.
But
So what was it?
yeah, and it was there was Porn Tip and
Legit porn tip was the
and
name.
Fakir. And I said, I don't think you understand. Winnie the Pooh can't say that.
Yeah, it's not happening.
And they go, no. You know what? If they really want it, let them call up.
Yep.
Let them. And
It's
so-
true though. It's like, yeah, I can't do
And
that.
so what we ended up doing, it was the weirdest thing in the world, was doing phonemes. Now, do you know what a phoneme is?
No,
I would have.
don't even know.
It's
Oh, and then they put it together.
boom, boom. And it's just, and you're sitting there going, who you wouldn't thinking? And then they have to spackle it together and turn it into a
that's
name.
Awful.
So that's what I said.
That's
I said-
insane.
I said, good luck. Have fun. I have to go now.
No way. 55,000.
Yeah. And it was from all over the globe.
Wow. What would you say is for you? Maybe that I have a question that's always in my head. The hardest as far as character to do in a sense and keep coming back. You know, sometimes you'll go away from it and then you'll have to maybe sometimes they'll be like, hey, we'd love to do this again, or here comes another sequel. And you're like, okay, how is that character
Yeah.
vocally?
Yeah. So far, so good. It's just, there's not much in there. So I've got plenty of room
So it works. Gotcha.
for the voices. I put them in there and I just, you know, and then out comes Darkwing Duck or Taz.
Right.
You know, he's the anti-poo.
Gotcha.
You know, so
yeah, I always find that always interesting because, you know, I've done a few, like I said, and I come back to do the voice again. I'm like, let me hear it again. Let me hear it just to hear how it sounds, just so I get it fresh in my head again. Cause it kind of would like throw me off and I wouldn't sound exactly match it to what the character would be
I've had
like.
a couple of those with video games that they take like 8 years between games.
And they're like, hey, can you add some of this stuff? And you're like,
and it was, what was Baldur's Gate, I think it was. And I played a character, Minsk.
Mhm.
And he was kind of like Lenny of Mice and Men,
gotcha.
but from Russia. And so it's, you know, okay, sure. Whatever you say there.
It's very good Russian.
Which
yeah,
I don't think
Russian.
was even Russian. That was Swedish.
Swedish.
Never mind.
Yeah,
God,
that's why I like
now I'm the Swedish chef. Yeah, oh God. Don't try this at home.
Please don't,
folks.
Don't
please.
ever.
Just don't do it.
I got a question for you, Joey. So, growing up, like, what was your main passion? Like, what did you really want to be growing up?
Yeah,
acting?
it's great that I was able to do what I always wanted to do. When someone just asked me a question the other day, it's like, you know, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? I said, honestly, after high school, I didn't even know, I couldn't even afford college. My parents couldn't afford college. I was ready to start auditioning for like cruise lines and shit, like legitimately starting to do stuff like that. And lo and behold, right after high school, ran into knuckleheads to do a group and started the Ball Effect, which was weird about getting together. And then from there, lived in Germany almost pretty much for about 2.5 years when we started like rolling.
Really?
Like literally the boy bands were really popular there and everything was grunge in the States. So like in 95, 96, 97, it was Nirvana, it was Pearl Jam, it was all those people.
Sure.
So as the boy bands and the things progressed, and obviously the loop was coming back around for the boy bands, I guess, to be popular.
Yeah.
Backstreet came out, Spice Girls came out, and then we were actually already doing stuff in Germany. So we were kind of polished already when we came into the States.
Nice.
So we kind of had our stuff already kind of boom. Here we are.
You guys had choreography like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we really pride on it. And we really watch. We even a lot of times we would watch right after the show, we do our concert. We go on the tour bus and talking about how old this is. We get a VHS tape and we would get it handed to us and we go on the bus and we'd watch it right after the show and go, what did we do wrong? What did we do right?
Wow.
What looks good? Where's the formation? How did this go? This sucked. This, just really just pick it out. And we write down the notes and we give them tomorrow and then we'll clean it up the next day.
That's really
so that's
cool.
why we always kind of that's why our stuff was always kind of very clean as we can be.
It's like watching game film.
Yeah.
That's
it's like, hey, repetition makes it great.
Yeah.
Now, who knows if we'll do that? If we ever did that, I think I need a little oil, a little rust, a little adjustment. Knees are hurting now. Elbows are, I can't jump around. I mean, I literally did a show for 4 days straight, did nothing to myself. And then I went to go say hi to my mom and I went to go kneel down and I don't know what the hell I did. I think I sprained my knee.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Did everything else, but nothing until that moment.
Right.
Shit happens.
You made it through Vietnam, but that
exactly.
it's like
crawling through the trenches and all of a sudden, boom.
Kaboom.
I give a hug and I break my back. Exactly what happens.
Well, can you tell us a bit about living in Germany? That's so fascinating to me.
It was interesting. It was quite a culture shock because I never been to Europe before.
Yeah.
Like all of us. It was like, Justin was 14 years old. Me and JC were both, 17, 18 years old. Lance was 16 and Chris was 24. He was the oldest one. So we had Justin's mom and also Lance's mom come with us on the tours because they need a parent, need a guardian.
Yeah.
So we were like, yay.
Wow.
But it was interesting, because obviously when you're 18 years old, you can drink in Germany.
Yeah,
you can do a lot of things in Germany. So it was one of those things where like
Beatles, right? You and the Beatles.
They enjoyed the heck out of it. So we never, and that's the thing, we were so innocent, like, we'll drink, but we'll hide it in a sense. But we never did anything crazy. We weren't like that, but it was just definitely different culture, different culture shock, but awesome to get a chance to do that. And it was like, people are learning about, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, through college. I'm going through it. Sometimes they do those, the traveling and do the stuff with college kids, but abroad, they study abroad. I couldn't think of the damn word when they study abroad. But like for me, I was doing it hands on, literally going to these places and doing it. So it was just cool. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then from there, like I said, the culture was dope. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Very harsh language. That is not an easy language to learn.
Yeah.
I still don't know it, but I like little pieces, but it's like, It's tough.
Well,
I
they sound
can't.
like they're pissed off. Like
They always
Oh,
are. They
yeah.
are.
Well, they are. Okay. Well, that explains it. Yeah.
Just the guys. The women are never pissed off. It's always the men that feel like they're pissed
All
off.
I can think of is
Yeah.
no Luftballons.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all I.
Alles klar. A wrench is called a Schlappenschlüssel. I found that out.
A Schlappenschlüssel?
A Schlappenschlüssel is a wrench.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I have to remember
Scheißegriff
that.
is an oh shit handle when you drive.
Oh.
Oh Scheißegriff.
Well, I
So
knew
when you do
about
the turns,
Scheisse-
yeah,
Scheisse-
Scheisse.
Yeah.
So oh Scheißegriff is the oh shit handle when you do the turns.
Oh.
When they're driving on the autobahn and you're turning very fast, you have to hold on to that little handle in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, Scheissegriff.
Oh. Of the Autobahn.
Yes, the autobahn.
Oh, that's.
But yeah, it
wild,
was
man.
a most interesting thing coming from somebody who, coming from Brooklyn, New York, never really moved to Orlando, Florida. So that was already a culture shock for me when I moved to Florida. And then going to Germany, where half the people, they spoke somewhat of English, but then they would talk in a completely, I have no idea what they were saying.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I started to learn a little bit. But, again, it was good times.
Yeah,
I
it
would
had to
definitely
be.
say.
Had to be.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Some a little
you
blurry
wouldn't-
times.
But yeah. Well, you wouldn't trade it though.
No, not at all. Even the Downs, we, with Lou Pearlman and the whole thing that just went down with them and may not know if we're going to have a record company. We were getting sued and didn't know if we are going to have our own name in sync. So it went down this whole crazy
didn't know about
litigation.
that.
Yeah. Lou Pearlman, the gentleman that basically kind of brought us together, who coughed up the money and did, we've learned a valuable word called recoupable, kids. If you don't know that word, when somebody says, hey, I can do this for you, but it's going to be recoupable, that means everything you do with that person or around that person is going to charge you. So for instance, when Lou Pearlman back in the day be like, hey, we're all going to dinner. Don't worry, it's on me. No, it's not. He was charging as a recoupable
Oh.
every time we do something. And we thought he
Ooh.
was just paying for it, and it wasn't. That's why the whole litigation and everything else. Then he was
Oh wow.
screwing us on money and then double, triple dipping in other ways and
A
areas.
little of that going around, huh?
Yeah.
Just a little. Man, little.
I think
payola.
everybody, when somebody gets that big, same thing like what?
Yeah.
How many famous people has gotten their manager has either
Yeah. Oh,
screwed them
God.
over or did a Ponzi scheme or.
Well, look at Elvis. I mean, if it could happen to Elvis, it could happen to anybody.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Billy Joel.
Billy
His
Joel.
manager, if I'm not
Oh, yeah.
mistaken. Screwed him for a couple millions, I think, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Eh.
remember that.
When stuff happens like that, that's when you know, because so much stuff is happening and so much money is coming in from all these different areas that it's so hard to, sounds funny, but it's so hard to find, but literally to track though. And I think that's how that starts to happen. And people get so greedy. It's like, why get greedy? If you're working and everybody's doing what they
Yeah.
need to be doing, everybody should eat from that. Nobody should.
Yeah. I think that a
So-
lot. It doesn't work that way though, does it?
Never does. Never does.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that's wants more. Or
And
wants
it ends
something
like
different.
the answer is because they can.
Right,
Why
well,
are they doing that?
'cause they can.
Because they can. And they
Oh,
get
hi.
away with it.
Yeah.
Look, there's
Ross.
he's over there
Ross.
being famous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, man.
Why?
Come on.
Why, gee,
So what's going
come
on?
on in and say
Come
hi.
on. Come in.
Look,
Come
it's
over and say
Ross
hi.
back. Look,
Do you want to come here, dude?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. How old are you now?
it's
there,
a
buddy?
magic. It's a magic talking stick.
Look, if you talking to it, sometimes it can change. Hello? See?
See?
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, great.
Keep trying.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Great.
We've been hanging out, having a good time, chatting, talking about,
Yeah.
myself touring and voices and
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
what
But
else?
the Misfits haven't come up.
no.
Do you want them to?
No.
Oh.
But yes. Yeah.
What kind of
Ain't my
music do
first
you
rodeo.
like, though, by the way? I was about to say.
I'm a jazz guy.
Jeff?
Nice.
Yeah.
Chet Baker?
Afro-Cuban jazz.
Oh, yeah.
I like.
Sweet.
You
Really?
know,
What do you
yeah.
Misfits?
I like everything. Yeah. Do you like Afrobeat? Do you like Fela Kuti?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I've
haven't
never
haven't
felt
heard
a
him
cootie
in a
before.
long
You've never
time.
heard of Fela
I've
Kuti?
never felt a cootie before.
Oh,
Ever in my
yes.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Yes.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Russ.
I didn't mean to crash the party. I
No,
just wanted to say
you
it.
are
Oh,
allowed
crash
to.
away. Crash away.
We love when you crash parties.
Yes. All right.
I just love putting you on the
Very
spot.
good.
I never
Ladies
get
and
it.
gentlemen.
It's always
Ross.
Ross always gets nervous when I talk around next to him. He gets like nervous. Like,
Yeah.
right?
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he did.
He doesn't. No, he's not. He's making that up.
Got a little,
100%.
got a little shy, huh?
Yeah, right. Put him on the spot. It turns all weird on you.
Oh.
But it's cool. You know, I'm about to say, doing these cons are fun because you get a chance to meet completely different people in different genres of
Oh, yeah.
entertainment that you would probably never really kind of
Yeah.
meet before. You know,
Yeah.
so it's always like Ross. You know,
Like
we
Ross.
met Ross here. Oh gosh, I met Ross here. How many years ago? 6 years ago, the first time here in Colorado Springs. So
Oh,
we
yeah,
met
yeah.
6 years ago. Me, him, and Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh yeah.
What
wow.
an interesting group of people, isn't that?
Yeah.
What a that always works. Yeah.
What are the words to La Bamba?
I've never known, but there's something to mama.
Yeah.
Por quesadilla.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Quesadilla. Quesadilla.
Una bota de gracias. Una bota de gracias. Arriba, arriba. Y ahí va, ahí va. Is that right? I'm not Spanish. Hey, it sounds right.
Sounds right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I sang it
I'll
once.
have to
but
ask Los Lobos.
do you know that the
They
same
would
song?
know.
What's the same chord progression of that? Well, shake it up, baby. Now shake it up, baby.
yeah.
Twist and same chord progression.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hello, I Love You by The Doors and The Kinks All Day and All of the Night.
Yep.
Same song.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam.
Yes.
Boom, boom,
Oh, it's
boom,
another
all
one.
day and all of the night. Hello, I love you.
Won't you tell me?
yes.
Same thing.
In the daytime.
Maroon 5 and U2. Maroon 5 is She Will Be Loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved. And U2 is, what is it now? I got to think of it now. Oh my gosh, that's U2. She Will Be Loved, I think. That's it. But then it goes, what's the Maroon 5 one? Oh my gosh, I just went blank. I don't mind spending every day running in the pouring rain. Same chord progression as that one, as With or Without You. U2.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Okay.
With
yeah,
or Without You, U2, it's Maroon 5, whatever that song title is. I can't remember what I just sang.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's so,
Yeah,
weird when
that-
you hear
that
something, you're
one.
like, I heard that. And I say that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You can go day in and day out, but that's why
All
I think
day
Ed
long,
Sheeran
yeah.
had the whole thing with, there was a whole lawsuit thing with him, and it was for Let's Get It On. Because it sounded very similar to his song, which was, oh my gosh, what was the song?
Let's
Is
take
Let
it
Get-
off.
No.
I don't know. It's-
Now I'm drawing a blank. Anybody know Ed Sheeran? What was the song that he got sued? He was getting sued for Let's
Don't
Get
say
It On.
Yesterday. That was a movie.
What was it? Yeah, darling, 17,
Thinking
16.
out loud.
Thinking out loud.
Yeah.
People fall in love. Same chord progression, but they sued him.
No
But he
way.
won because you got to think about it. They're using the same chords. It's the same elements. It's almost the same thing if you're using the same
Mhm.
periodic tables. You're not changing. You're mixing them up, but they're
Right.
the same thing. You can only do a certain combinations. You can never
Mhm.
change. It's
Mhm.
always going to be those combinations. Nothing's ever going to, you can do it so many different ways, but it's always going to have those notes are going to be in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just like a beat, no one
Yeah.
can ever really program or steal it. It's a
No.
drum beat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
Yeah.
people want money out of something.
Except for Ringo.
Yeah. Ringo
World's
was always,
best drummer. I really think so.
he
I mean,
was.
he innovative. I mean, he wasn't the fastest.
Right.
I get
No.
all that. Everybody knows that.
Did you ever hear the story
But,
about the Hey Jude? When in the recording studio?
What's that?
You know, in the beginning, you don't hear him, right? Well, he
Yeah.
went to the bathroom. They started recording. I just literally watched this a minute ago. Who was telling the story? I think it was Paul McCartney, I believe, was telling the story. But yeah, he
would
left. So if you hear it, there's no drums until it kicks in. Let it out and let do do do. He quietly went back in and sat down. He literally left and came back in and then just started from there and just played like nothing. They recorded it and then that was the one
That was
that
it.
aired. Yeah,
Wow.
that I learned. Yeah,
I never even noticed.
Yeah. Go. It's true story. Yeah. The beginning of it, you never hear really. There's no drum beat
Wow. Okay, now we're all going to go home and play. Hey
because it's
Jude.
just a tambourine. Hey Jude. I don't even think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. There's nothing until right after the chorus. I think.
Yeah, it's just Paul
That's
and
crazy.
the piano.
So yeah, he literally was in the bathroom. We went somewhere, and then when
Wow.
he came in, he didn't be like, "Oh, stop recording," or he just slid in and just came in,
Oh wow.
and that was the right time. I guess.
Good thing
and
he
it was
didn't have a
perfect.
lot to do in there.
No,
It would have
right?
been totally late.
Totally late. 100%. He would have been halfway through the song.
He would have been. That's right. He would have been in the encore. That doesn't make sense.
Wow.
Oh man. So you're off to where's your next convention?
Next convention.
We might as well tout to
yeah,
the world.
next convention will be 90s Con.
90s con.
Yeah, September. It's coming up. September 15th, I believe it starts.
I think
Is
we're
our
going
next
there.
90s con.
I think so.
September 15th. You'll be there.
I
You will
think
be
so.
there.
Where is that one? That one's
Tampa.
in Tampa, right?
It is in Tampa.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good times.
Tampa's a good place.
It's my backyard. I live in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
So it's a hop, skip, and a jump. Be able to drive there and drive back home.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. When I was playing rock and roll, I was in New Orleans, and I was in singer of a band called Fusion, and we played in Tampa, and our guitar player imploded and left. And so we're sitting there like, oh, shit, now what? And we were stuck in Tampa, and we had like enough money for 2 weeks. So that we're just running around looking
Right.
for guitar players, and we drafted some guy, and then our drummer quit. So then he left his drums there, so I played drums.
Gotcha.
So I said, okay, fine. Now
Get somebody.
we're going to be a trio here in a minute. Give me a harmonica, and that was, Tampa. It took me years to be able to go to Tampa.
Back to Tampa again.
And just okay, good.
Moving on.
Yes,
Moving on.
so far so good. So yeah,
Yeah, I think you did pretty
come to
good.
the con anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Come check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, before we go, can you tell us that story that you told us last night?
Which
About
one?
the-
Oh, which
Automated.
one?
You had automation before automation was a thing.
Oh, the auto-tune thing?
No. You were talking about like
My
your
brain.
house where you had like
Oh, yeah.
you could turn on the hot
My
tub.
dumbass, yeah. Gosh, I don't remember what year it was. It must have been way even maybe early 2000, maybe 1999, right before when they still had Redbox, when you could put the DVD, and they would mail it to you, and you'd be able to watch and bring it back.
Yeah.
Well, I knew a guy that did like a whole bunch of like programming, and I wanted my whole house to be integrated. I know he did. He did a little bit in my first house, the very first house I got. He did a little bit of it, just the lights. But I'm like, can you do more? And he goes, well, I've never done it, but I'll program it. So he legitimately programmed everything in my house to be automated, which was never really automated because that never really existed back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was no, hey, Siri, turn this on, or hey, Alexa.
Yeah.
So he literally would be, I always tell him, you're in the closet, because he'd always be in the closet because it would be where the computer was and how he would program everything.
Mhm.
He did the whole thing where I was able to, and my pool was not even connected or near my house. It was pretty far away. I live on 4 acres. But I was able to turn the TV, turn things on, turn things off from down there. Be able to open up the shutters, turn the jacuzzi on, turn the
that's
slide,
cool.
water slide on.
Yeah.
Then I was able to do things in the house. Then he actually mapped out on the touchscreen each room. So now I'm able to hit the room then, and then I'm able to go. And again, this was never, he programmed.
Yeah.
He had books upon books of all the coding, which was
Oh,
crazy to
wow.
me, which I thought was fascinating. But yeah, I spent millions of dollars, which now is probably really cheap now just to do.
Yeah.
Great. But I was ahead of the time, which was crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny last night. You're like, I had automation
I did.
before automation.
I did. I had automation
Yeah,
before
yeah.
automation was there. I was actually programming things. And then now it's a lot easier.
Yeah. I had something like that in my one house where you had to plug it in, and one screen was for the pool, one was for the this and that. And then the next screen was for the lights.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
And they had, but he did it to where it was like every time you'd hit to that room, the room would go to, do you want the audio? Or do you want the lights? And then
yeah.
you'd be able to turn down. So, because I had speakers in every room
Uh-huh.
of all my house when I had, again, as you get older, you realize, why do I need that big monstrosity? I don't.
Yeah.
I was on 4 acres at 10,000 square foot house. My pool was on an acre of land. I had my
Oh, that's
master
awesome.
bedroom was 3200 square feet.
What?
The master bedroom was 3,200 square feet. It was stupid.
That was like my
It was
first
on
house.
cribs. Yeah, exactly. My first house too.
Yeah.
I was on cribs for the one time, and I was like, yes, I really own the house. I didn't rent it.
Yeah.
So I lived there for about 10 years, and I was like, you know what? Why do I have this? And I
Yeah.
never went upstairs. After one of my daughter was old enough to take her own shower, get dressed, and come downstairs, I had about 3 or 4 bedrooms and her room, and I never went up there anymore.
Mm.
I had a game room. I had a whole bunch of them. I'm like, I'm not even here at the
Yeah.
time. So
Mhm.
trust me, kids, don't do that. Downsize. Or you know what? If you really want to get a big house, get the rooms just really big and just do like 3 or 4. It's a good idea.
You got that?
Yeah.
There's
So
gonna
do like
be
a
a
big
quiz.
theater. Yeah, big theater, big kitchen, big bedroom, living room. Done. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else?
Yeah. I like the theater part.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I need a theater in my house every
It's
time.
beautiful. Yeah. Coming
a
to a
dork.
theater near you.
Yep.
It is house. Oh, well, Joey, thanks a lot,
Thank
man.
you, bro.
I really
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
Let's
really
hear it.
appreciate
Joey
it.
Fatone.
Yes. Oh, please.
Really appreciate it.
Hold your
Yeah.
applause. Just throw money. Change, people. We all
Thank
want
you.
to change.
And the crowd went
Thank you.
mild.
The 3 of you. Amazing. Oh, so gorgeous.
Thanks, brother.
Kidding?
Good stuff. Good stuff. right. There he is.
Getting old.
Back
A little
to
hamper.
the grinder. We hope.
Yeah, really appreciate your time. That's fun. Do you mind if we take a picture together? It's kind of our thing before we do. I want to use my phone.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I did too.
Wunderbar.
Oh, you guys got it?
We got it. We got you.
You know what? You two do it first, and then I'll hop it.